You can actually, like in here, it's not all medical articles quoted. Some of the quotes that we use are historical quotes from, anthropologists that would go through the slums in New York. The Ellis Island was just bringing people in, and they would sometimes have 20 people in one room with no privy, dark, like you say, the sewage would run underneath the house, so the smell of it would be coming up through the whole time. And then you'd have them working 16 hours a day at the age of anything upwards of 4 to 5 years old could be sent to either coal mines or canneries to bring money in for the families to barely survive. So people weren't being paid very well. But you just said smallpox being what it was. But what people don't realize is that in the 1600s, late 1680s, doctors were describing smallpox as one of the easiest diseases to treat if you simply just supported the human. Again, quoted that. And then what happened is the Industrial Revolution, and people were taken with the Land Enclosure Acts out from the farms and brought into cities, which didn't have the pigs basically were the garbage men back then. So the pigs ran wild, thank God, because if they didn't, it would have been even worse. Horses were your cars, so the horses were dumping everywhere. Some people they said there was a foot of horse manure to get through to walk across the street. So it was horrible in pretty much every way you can think of, and then the human oppression on top of it in terms of the poverty that was there and the wealthy elite at the top kind of, living the good life. But it was starting to filter up to them at some point, which is why it was actually individual people that sponsored the first public drinking fountains and things like that. It was probably partly to save themselves. Because if you can stop disease from running rampant through society, look, they still had to go into the cities to get things.
Right.
And even if you sent your servant into the city, your servant could bring you home something lovely from the city. Yeah.